So UFC is back in the Apex this weekend. I think it's the Apex. I'd imagine this doesn't come off like a full crowd type of card. Oh, my bar is broken. Okay, gonna have to do it like this. First fight of the night: Tresean Gore versus Antonio Tricoli. I guess I'm gonna go Antonio Tricoli just because Tresean Gore has. I mean, he got knocked out by Cody Brundage, and Tricoli's not great either. But Tricoli, you know, he stood in there with Shara Magomedov at least. You know, he survived more than 2 rounds. Like, I know MMA math doesn't work, but you shouldn't be getting starched out cold by Cody Brundage. Yeah, he lost to Brian Battle as well, but Brian Battle is very good. Cody Brundage is not. So, I don't know. Neither of these guys are great. Neither of these guys are going to go on to be UFC champion. I think I can confidently say that about these two. But I think I go Antonio Tricoli. He's bigger as well. You got to look at the difference between these guys in their reach. Yeah, 5 inches of difference in reach, 5 inches of height for Tricoli. He's got more experience than Tresean Gore. He is older, but he's actually the underdog, which is very interesting. I think Tricoli's going to win this all day. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tricoli here. Who are the people picking? I feel like most people on Tricoli. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think Tricoli should win. So yeah, I'll go Tricoli. Then we have Cortavious Ramos versus Gaston Bolanos. Gaston Bolanos. You know, he got chinned by Marcus McGee, but Marcus McGee's pretty good. He's a very good striker, and Cortavious didn't really impress me too much on his Dana White Contender Series fight, to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't know, he was fighting like a 40-year-old man, and he didn't really look that great. I'm going to go Gaston. I think he is a very good striker. I don't think Ramos has the power of a McGee to go in there and chin him. Like I said, he beat 12-6 Michael Impiato. He also got chinned immediately by Ramon Tavares. He's not got the greatest chin. I think Gaston can get him out of there. He's going to have those nerves as well as his UFC debut. He's not fighting a 40-year-old 12-6 guy this time. I mean, 7-4 is not much better, but I think Gaston will get this one done. Then we have Melissa Mullins versus Claudia Saigolua. I don't actually know who this chick is, but she's very attractive. I will say that. Okay, she's not fighting the worst level competition. Why can I not? She's not fighting the worst level competition looking at it. Okay, 6-9, that's not great, but where is that? In Polish. That was really weird. She got brutalized against Nora Konakole. I don't know who to pick for this fight. Let's flip a coin. Who are the majority of people going with here? This is why I don't like doing MMA predictions when it comes to the women's fights, because I'm always wrong. Okay, let's look. Who are the majority going with here? Okay, everyone's going with the poll. I'm going to go with Sagula too. I know nothing about either of these ladies, so I might as well go with the grain, because why not? Then we have Cody Stamann versus Damon Blackshear. I'm actually going to take Damon Blackshear here. Cody Stamann is good, but I think Damon Blackshear is actually the real deal. He fought Taylor Lappius his last fight, but Lappius is pretty decent. Lost to Douglas Silva de Andrade, but I think that was actually a very close fight, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna take Damon Blackshear. He's just impressed me with a lot of his fights. I think he did get knocked out by Montel Jackson in 18 seconds, but Montel Jackson is very good. And then he arguably beat Mario Batista, and we all see what a monster Mario Batista is, you know, with his clinch against the fence on Aldo, obviously, but like Mario Batista is actually very good. He didn't beat Aldo though, he shouldn't have won that fight, but regardless, like, Mario Batista is very good, and Damon Blackshear was in there with him. He arguably won that fight pretty convincingly as well. He looked very good. If only he would have won that, we wouldn't have got Mario Batista versus Jose Aldo. But I think I'm gonna take Damon Blackshear. You know, he's a very good grappler. Both of these guys are pretty not the greatest strikers, but I think Damon Blackshear. He's very Aljo-esque. He does fight very similar to Aljo, I feel like. And obviously Stamen did lose to Aljo many years ago. You know, obviously not going to use that against him. Aljo was very good, and it was a very long time ago. But I think Damon Blackshear's got the sort of grappling and the striking where he can give difficulty to a Cody Stamen. So I'm going to go Damon Blackshear here. Then we have Charles Radke versus Matthew Semelsberger. I like Matthew Semelsberger. I've watched Matthew Semelsberger knock a lot of people out. But I'm going to go with Charles Radke. He is a very good grappler. He can grapple. I like that against Matthew Semelsberger. It was just a very, very bad performance his last time out. You know, he's typically a pretty good fighter. He's normally knocking people out. He beat up Jake Matthews. And I think Jake Matthews is like much better than Preston Parsons. But he got destroyed by Preston Parsons. He got knocked out by Uros Medic. He should have beat Jeremiah Wells. So that was a real rough one there. But just Radke. But Radke also did get knocked out. But it was against Prates. Prates is very good. But Radke also looked really bad against Blood Diamond. He has been knocked out a lot. He isn't a very durable guy. Oh, this is interesting. This is a really interesting one. But he can grapple. That is worth noting. He can grapple. He does do grappling tournaments. He subbed Raheem Forrest, who is, at one point was a pretty good prospect. But he's also not that big as well. Like, Matthew Semelsberger is a much bigger welterweight. Like, he's massive. This guy used to be a light heavyweight. He used to be a linebacker or something in the NFL. Well, maybe not NFL, but, you know, he was like a American football player in high school or something like that. And he was a big boy. Strong guy. But his takedown defense is pretty bad. It's really weird. I'm gonna go Radke. I'm gonna go with my gut, but I don't like it. I'm gonna go with my brain. I mean, my gut's telling me Semelsberger knocks him out, but I'm gonna go Radke. Then we have Mansour Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. I'm gonna go Mansour Abdul Malik here. Dusko just doesn't have the chin at this point. He's been knocked out so many times. He's taken beatings. Like, this guy is on a CTE speed run, and Mansour Abdul Malik is a very athletic guy. Like, his main attribute is not, is he a boxer, is he a wrestler? No, it's just like pure athleticism, which goes pretty far in the middleweight division. Back in the day, Dusko did beat Michel Paya, but yeah, his form of late just doesn't mean the greatest. I think he's coming off a loss. Who's he coming off a loss to this time? Leroy Duncan. So he's been out for a pretty long time, actually. Because he did tear his knee apart. Not a great injury to come back from. He did beat Jordan Wright, but Jordan Wright's horrible. He beat Maki Patolo. Like, his career is just win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Like, very hit and miss. He also beat a 50-year-old, by the way. This guy, Katsu Takahashi, is literally like 55. He was like 50 when Dusko fought him. I don't know. I just thought that was something cool to mention. But yeah, I'm gonna go Mansour Abdul Malik here. I don't think Dusko has anything for him really. Maybe cardio, but Mansour is just such a behemoth. He's so athletic, so I'm gonna go with that Mansour here. Then we have Nicholas Dalby versus Alessi Zaleski dos Santos. This is another interesting fight, to be honest. Dalby's looking pretty good of late. Like, he's looking very, very good. Which is very interesting. But Alessi, both of these guys look very good against Rinat Fakhretdinov. But I think Nicholas Dalby has shown that he's a bit more reliable, because he beat Abubakar Nurmagomedov. For some reason, I thought Ubakar beat him. No, never mind. I'm completely remembering the wrong fight. Should have beat Muslim Salikov as well. Like, he should have won that fight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he didn't beat Renat. That was definitely a draw. Randy Brown as well was a very competitive fight. But then Dalby is like also having competitive fight with Renat, beat Gabriel Bonfim, beat Muslim Salikov, beat Wally Alves. You know, Claudius Silva is whatever. He has no testosterone anymore. He's just a bit too old. If he had TRT, he'd probably be running ransack through people, but he's just unathletic and old now. But Dalby, these two were fought before. This is a rematch. I remember the first fight was like a robbery low-key, though. Like, Dalby won, but it was a very controversial decision, if I remember it correctly. And that was literally 9 years ago. You can't really, like... But Dalby just keeps impressing me. He's got a very good chin. He is very durable. He's only got 5 losses. Like, he's got a very good record when you think about it. I'm going to go Nicholas Dalby. I'm not very confident on this prediction, but I feel like his performances have been getting better, even though both of these guys are pretty old. I think Dalby might even be older. Yeah, he is older. He's just impressing me more. Like, his fighting prime is like it's aging like a fine wine. Like, he does seem to be having the better performances of his career right now. He also went to a draw with Darren Till back in the day as well, worth mentioning. And one of his no contest was literally because like the octagon was so bloodied from his war he had that they just had to stop the fight, which is like, you know, this guy is in there for a dogfight. So I'm going to Nicholas Dalby. At this point in his career, I think he's just going in there to win, going in there to have dogfights. Same with Zaleski, but I just think Dalby probably wants it a bit more, even though he is older. He seems like he's got more to prove, so I'm going to Nicholas Dalby. Then we have Luana Pinheiro versus Jillian Robertson. I'm going with Jillian Robertson here. I know she's 14-8, but she's a very good grappler. Luana, I think she's coming off a bunch of losses. Submission, mounted guillotines. She got a spinning wheel kick by Amanda Ribas. She got a robbery over Michelle Waterson. She did beat Sam Hughes, which is pretty good. She got an illegal up kick win. Like, are we really, like, these are the wins she's getting? She got, like, she's a very good looking woman, I'll say that. But I think Jillian Robertson's going to win. I know her looks have nothing to do with it. Both of these women are actually pretty good looking, but... So you can't even go into, like, maybe she wants it more. Like, no, both of these women are pretty good looking. So I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson to get this one done. Then we have Gerald Meerschaert versus Reiner de Ridder. De Ridder, obviously the former, I think he was triple or double champion. Actually, I think he was definitely double. He tried to go for heavyweight and he got absolutely destroyed by Antonio Malikin, I think it was. Malikin. Yeah, and then he rematched him, and then he also, I think he got battered and retired in his corner as well. But he's very good. He's a very good grappler. He's coming off a win where he actually got a knockout, which is pretty interesting because he is typically a grappler. He's a very good grappler, but so is GM3. Both of these guys have trained at Killcliff as well, so I wonder if they have got any rounds together. De Ridder is very good. Obviously, people are going to say, oh, he lost to the Antolio guy twice, but he's also very good. Like, that Russian guy he lost to, he's a very good fighter. He's like a smaller Sergey Pavlovich. Like, he's just powerful, he's big, he's strong. He was just a nightmare matchup for De Ridder. But I think De Ridder can beat Gerald Meerschaert, so I'm going to go De Ridder to get this one done. But it'll be interesting. Like, GM3 is a dangerous underdog. Like, he always seems to do good when everyone counts him out. And then when people expect him to win, he always seems to have his worst performances. It's really weird. Like, it's Dustin Stolfers. Everyone's like, oh, GM3 wins this one easy. But then he had like a back and forth like fight where he had to actually get a comeback finish in the third against Stolfers. It's very weird. GM3 is a weird fighter. So because he's an underdog, it's always worth putting some money on GM3. He seems to do better in those fights than when he's a favourite. But again, unless he's fighting Hamzat Chimaev. But then again, I'm going with De Ridder here. Then we have Ricky Tercios versus Bernardo Serpage. Bernardo impressed me against Vinicius Oliveira. I thought Vinicius wasn't very good because, like, you know, you had this little Serbian-Albanian, Kosovo, guy come up out on short notice from the Swedish regional scene, and he gave Vinicius everything he could handle until he gassed out and ate a flying knee. I was like, okay, maybe Vinicius isn't that great, but then he went on to destroy Ricky Simone, not get taken down, and show amazing takedown defense. So I think Bernardo is a very good fighter, while Ricky Tercios has just been having awful performance after awful performance. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but yeah, he beat Kevin Natividad, but he had a back and forth scrap with him. He looked like very scrappy but very hittable. Had a back and forth war, got hurt a lot, got his mouth being knocked out, and then he went to a split. And Kevin Natividad isn't like a great fighter by any means. He's not very good. He was getting knocked out by everybody he fought in the UFC as well. Uppercut, left hook, but Tercios had a back and forth war with him, and then he lost to Zahabi, but Zahabi I think we're realizing is the real deal. Like, this guy is legit. He is a legit guy. You can't really hold it too much against him for that one. But like, Martinez got chinned by him. Like, he's got a pretty bad chin. He's got pretty bad. No, I wouldn't say bad, but he does get taken down quite a lot. I think Sapage is going to win this. I think he's the real deal. Yeah, he lost to Vinicius Oliveira, but I think Vinicius Oliveira is the real deal too. And Bernardo gave him all he could handle on short notice. So I'm going to go Bernardo to get this one done over Ricky Tercios. Then we have Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Denise Gomez. I'm going to go with Denise Gomez, I feel like that's a good pick here. She did lose to Angela Hill, but Angela Hill's not too bad. I think Karolina also lost to Angela Hill, right? Seems like a fight that's probably happened. Okay, maybe they haven't actually fought. Wow, that's interesting. Maybe Andrade, Waterson, Grasso, Jan, Penene. No, they haven't fought. That's interesting. I would have thought like her and Angela Hill would have crossed paths at some point. Well, Karolina versus Angela Hill, that'd probably be a good fight. But I'm going Denise Gomez here. She's just very powerful. She's very big. She's very strong, and she's very lesbian. So I'm going to go with the Denise Gomez. That always seems to be... And she's Brazilian, which always seems to be a winning combo against, Eastern European block of women. So I'm gonna go Denise Gomez to get this one done. Then we have Cody Garbrandt versus Miles Johns. This is an interesting fight. I'm going to go... Cody Garbrandt, very good takedown defense. I don't think Miles Johns is going to wrestle fuck him, but he's very powerful. But I think there is levels. Like, Cody Garbrandt had a very competitive fight with Davison Figueiredo. I think that's a very good look for him. He's got a very small reach compared to him. But I'm going to go Cody Garbrandt. I'm going to trust in him to get this one done. I know he could probably just get chinned. But Miles Johns didn't look that good against Douglas Silva de Andrade either. I think that was more just Silva de Andrade shitting the bed than Miles Johns being like an amazing prospect. I mean, Cody Haddon looked a lot better against... what's that guy's name that they both fought? Dan Argueta. But, Cody Garbrandt versus Cody Haddon, that would be a real fight. But anyway, my Australian bias aside, Cody Garbrandt I think will win this fight over Miles Johns. Good takedown defense, powerful, quick hands. I think he can put on a bit of a masterclass here over Miles Johns, so I'm going to go Cody Garbrandt. Guys, he lost to Davison Figueiredo, but he looked very good in that fight. It's Davison Figueiredo, for fuck's sake. So I'm going to go Cody Garbrandt. Level of competition matters. Then we have Neil Magny coming off a KO like 2 months ago. Like 2 months. Like, literally last month was October. Like, it hasn't even been a full 2 months since he got knocked out by Michael Morales. I'm going with Carlos Prates. It's a pretty easy pick. He's long, he's rangy, he kicks to the leg. Neil Magny's allergic to leg kicks. He's younger. He's in a good spot of momentum. Neil Magny is coming off a knockout. He's not ever been the most durable guy, but he's literally not been given time to recover. Prates is long. Neil Magny doesn't know how to use his reach. Carlos Prates comes out of the fighting nerds. He's younger. I know I mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again. He doesn't have all the wear and tear. He does have like 80 fights in Muay Thai and kickboxing, but I don't think Neil Magny is going to go out there and knock Carlos Prates out cold. I can confidently say I don't think that's an option. I think Carlos Prates is going to put Neil Magny out cold with a 1-2 down the pipe. He's going to kick up his leg because Neil Magny, his legs are like a lumberjack. He's like a lumberjack. You hit the tree a couple times, and then he's out. Then Neil Magny's legs are done. Neil Magny's legs will be done. He's going to press up against the fence, and Carlos Prates is going to put him out cold with a 1-2 down the pipe. This guy knocked out Li Jingliang. Yes, Neil Magny beat him, but the durability difference between Neil Magny and the Leech is insane. Like, Carlos Prates is for real. He can knock anybody out. If he can knock out the Leech, he can probably knock most people out. So I'm going to go Carlos Prates to get this one done via KO. But let me know who you guys have. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.